Hi guys, and welcome back to another tool review video. Today I'll be reviewing another saw from Evolution Tools. And this is the saw I'll be reviewing today. And I believe it's the RAGE2 saw. Now this saw is a multi-purpose saw. And with one blade you can cut all these different items here. I believe the blade on this one is the same type as the Evolution RAGE3 saw that I reviewed last year. I'll put a link to all the other products from Evolution Tools that I've reviewed under the video today. I'm just going to start by doing an unboxing of this saw. When you open up the box, you'll see the manuals. And there's a few items in these holes here. There's a bracket here for the saw when you do cutting, and there's a few tools. And here's the saw all wrapped up in this box. And it's a fair size saw. It's got a 14-inch blade. And this item here that was in the box goes over here. It's for when you cut pipe or different objects. It keeps it more secure in the vise here. And you've got an Allen wrench included as well to remove the blade. And this button over here you just push down to lock the blade when you're removing it. You also have a spare set of brushes. And you have this little handle here that goes on the wheel here. And to install it, all you need is a Phillips screwdriver. So on this saw here, you can adjust the angle of your cut. Over here, you can use the included Allen wrench as well that you use to remove the blade. Now this saw here only cuts straight down. You cannot set the angle either to the left or to the right, and it does not slide back and forth. Now this saw here looks like it does have a gear reduction transmission here. You cannot use this blade on any chop saw, by the way, guys. You can only use this blade on this saw. This saw here spins a lot slower than your average chop saw, that's why. And here's a close look at the blade. You can see it's carbide tipped. Now I believe that you can buy different blades for different applications for the Evolution saws. And they're usually color coded. The orange blade like this is usually for multi-purpose cutting. If you get Evolution's blue blade, it will cut just steel. Now you can use the chain here to keep it locked down for storage. And it's got a nice heavy duty cord here. Make sure that you use a good outlet for this. If you do use an extension cord, you want to make sure you use the same gauge of cord. If you use an extension cord that's too small, you could end up burning out the motor. Now on the box here, guys, it shows that one of these blades lasts longer than 20 abrasive discs. Now I've reviewed quite a few of their saws, and I must say that they are actually of good quality. So I've got Simon here. You've seen him before in some of my videos, and we're going to do a test on this saw today. First of all, we're going to just cut through a 2x6. What we're going to do now is put some nails through it, and then he's going to be cutting through the piece of wood again right through the nails. And you can see he actually did go through the nails. And the teeth on the blade are still in very good shape. And now we're setting up a piece of ABS pipe. If you're doing plumbing in your house and you have this saw, it's going to cut through that really well. A good tip when using this saw, guys, is make sure your metal is always secured. If it's not, what can happen is the blade can bind in it. It'll come to a quick stop and you can damage the carbide teeth on your blade. So be extremely careful. I must say that that's the best tip I can give you when using this saw. Also make sure the blade is revving at full speed before you start cutting, because it can bind also if it's not revving. So now Simon's going to be cutting through this piece of metal pipe. This will be the hardest test for this saw today.
So how was it going through that, Simon?
That
that was actually not bad. Just continuous light pressure on it. Don't force it. And it seems to cut really nice.
And he's got a nice clean cut here as well with that blade.
Almost no burrs.
That's also an advantage of using this saw, is that you don't get any burrs on the metal like Simon mentioned. And now for the last piece here, we're going to be cutting through some aluminum. And it might not be a bad idea to be wearing a face shield when using the saw, because I noticed it does shoot out a bit of shards. And again, there's a nice clean cut here. So we're done testing the saw for today, and Simon, what do you think about this saw?
I think it's a pretty good saw. It's I prefer this one over the sliding saw that I tested out. So this is something I feel more comfortable with having.
Does it better suit your needs if you were to have this saw?
Yes, it would. Yeah.
Okay. If you had this saw, what would you add to it, like in regards to blades?
Well, if I was to do strict metal cutting, I would put a metal cutting blade on there because it's more designed specifically for cutting iron.
And this is the blade that Simon's talking about. This one would fit on there to strictly cut metal. This is the same blade that I have on one of the other saws that I tested for Evolution Tools. So before you use this saw, guys, make sure you're wearing all your safety equipment, and the earmuffs are also very important. So that's our review for today on the Evolution RAGE2 chop saw. Check out my other review videos on Evolution Tools. Thanks for watching, and make sure to subscribe, and have yourselves a great day.